The friends and families of the cheerleaders and support staff will favour the team as they will go to watch them perform. This was from Sarah Lotta. Reasons why my family have these views are because we never went to a basketball game, but when we found out our family friend Lauren cheered for the New Zealand Breakers, we went along to watch her perform. In the process, we also found we loved watching the basketball. This could be the same for those and their rugby teams, and joining the Super 15 buzz of supporting their hometown and teams. In contrast, though, players, cheerleaders, coaches, etc. are disadvantaged politically due to this event because players breaking the rules and laws of the game and their contracts. This may mean that they miss out on important games due to sin bins and bans. Take Zach Gilford for example. He has had an alcohol problem, and this affects both himself and his teammates, and even the public view on New Zealand as a whole. Back in 2011, when his alcoholism first became public, Zach Gilford was banned from 4 matches, and this did not only have a negative effect on him and his fitness, but also on the Crusaders team. The coach of the Crusaders, Tom Blackadder, commented, "Gilford couldn't be coming to a better environment than the Crusaders in terms of support. A lot of guys over the years have had a lot of difficulty in terms of alcoholism and things like that. He's got some really good role models that are still in this team who have gone through what he has gone through." So it seems that even though there are negatives around the event and politics that can have a negative side effect on Guildford's social well-being, he has support and role models to look up to. This negative effect to Guildford means that those younger looking up to him could potentially be influenced wrong and may too have an alcohol problem. My family believes that the players should realize that they have a duty to the country and the youngsters of the nation, as they are now role models in front of the whole of New Zealand. My brother, Dean Lotter, says, "I'm upset because I look up to these guys. I want to be them one day. I don't want to go down that path. The boys my age are easily influenced, and any of my mates could do that and regret it and lose their career. In the future, my family and friends would like to see more laws and punishments to the rugby players, because this will show them that they need to live with the consequences and not just a slap on the wrist. This will mean that many players will become more aware of how they act and also of their teammates, as they will be affected too by the behaviour of the players around them." When we look at the effect on society, there are a number of people advantaged politically in the New Zealand by the Super 15. For example, there's an increase in job opportunities for the locals. The government in New Zealand gets an increase in the tourism due to the big games. Jessica Tasman Jones wrote an article and said, "A tourism expert says the exposure of the city received during the event will see a new generation of international visitors travelling here, along with New Zealanders who have a new appreciation for the city." We can see that New Zealand is benefiting from the interest in rugby here. Franchises, local businesses, sponsors, the media, etc. They are all advantaged politically because they are being put on TV, as everything is televised, and all of the world gets to see their logos, boards, and signs. This means that there will be an increase in sale of goods at the venues and at sports stores that sell the team merchandise. This links to the GST on goods sold at the event. The money is then put back into sports and education, etc. Another example of a group advantaged politically by this event are the politicians themselves. They are advantaged because by being at the games, they increase their public profile. This means that they are able to access the venues themselves and see what does and doesn't need to be adjusted in the venues. They also create laws and bylaws around the games, like night games. Night games have disadvantages when it comes to the Super 15. The deputy and rugby coach at Albany Senior High School, Alex Solomon, says, "I would change night games into afternoon games so I could take my kids. I can't take them now because this is too late." Alex Solomon also stated, "I would change the ticket prices to come down so I could afford to take my family." In the future, these groups would like to see a change in the times of the games and ticket prices to be lowered so they can take their families and friends. This will also make the event more family friendly as families can afford to bring their kids and enjoy the game. This shows that their social well-being is being negatively affected as they cannot come to the games due to the politics surrounding the event. Lastly, if we look at the environmental factor on ourselves, we can see that the term environment refers to the concerns in the environment. The Super 15 is environmentally a significant event, and there are a number of viewpoints that reflect this. For example, spectators are advantaged environmentally because venues are always made perfect for them and the society. This will enhance their social well-being as they can get out in a clean and well-kept environment. For example, a member of the community commented on the Eden Park Stadium saying, "I think it's a great looking stadium. Walking down the street, looking up at it, it looks awesome." This shows that by liking the event you are more likely to go back and make great memories. This means that the stadiums are good quality and you get the best experience possible. Spectators are also advantaged at home as they get the best coverage live and replay of the game when they have the time, by having the best footage of the game at home. This is a great way for spectators to experience the event without getting cold and the problem of noise. Spectators, although, can also be disadvantaged environmentally because there may be an increase in health issues like sunburn and sickness due to inadequate clothing and exposure to the elements. There will also be an increase of rubbish, and this may go against their beliefs. This means that spectators may not want to go to the games anymore, and this will decrease sales. For me personally, I feel this event is a great way to get out into the environment and enjoy the company of those with similar interests, and also a buzzing atmosphere. The Forsyth Bar Stadium down in Dunedin is a great 21st century stadium as it is indoors, so it eliminates all the weather elements and keeps all the rubbish indoors, making it environmentally friendly and easier for the cleaners at the end of the game. In the future, I would like to see less of pollution in and around the stadiums because it's gross and unhygienic and can also be hard to clean up. More stadiums like Dunedin's Forsyth Bar would be a great alternative for future stadiums or upgrades. When we look at others, we see my family feels that stadiums are kept well and clean. My brother, Dean Lotter, says, "The conditions of our grounds were always great and the litter and rubbish seem to be fine whenever I go to a live game at the North Harbour Stadium." This is a positive, but in contrast, players, cheerleaders, coaches, etc. are disadvantaged environmentally due to this event because there may be injuries due to the behavior of the crowd, pollution in the form of rubbish, and carbon emissions. This means that many people will have negative feelings towards the game, especially at the stadium, watching live. For example, some people don't like how the crowd behaves due to the actions they take, like Trent Murin, for example, who has streaked at games multiple times. This just ruins the experience for those who have gone to the game to enjoy the skills of the players. One spectator, Jacob Page, commented, "The spectator should be banned for life. Funny or not, going to such events is a privilege." So as you can see, there are cases sometimes when the players, cheerleaders, and coaches get bad mouthed when spectators get mad or angry. If we look at Quade Cooper again, for example, we can see that players are impacted at what the crowd are saying and how they react to the criticism given to them by the people they are playing for. Darren Walton says, "It's a way for people to sell the game, why people turn up to watch. Not only do they come there to see great games of rugby, they come there to see rivalry. This means that people go to the games to see some action and enjoy the sensation of winning and also saying that they wish, although some people go over the top and ruin the experience for players. Some negatives include the transport delays. Many people will travel to and from the venue, whether they carpool or use one or more cars as family, buses, taxis, etc. The traffic will build up and there is an event in progress, and this can turn people off and not be bothered. Not going to a game will decrease ticket sales, and this too can have an economic effect later. My family feels that it is natural and sometimes hard to get people to behave when they are intoxicated, but they also feel that because it is seen as a family event, that they should be more considerate. In the future, both my friends and family would like to see less alcohol at an event that is quite family orientated, with so many kids present. This is because it will set a bad example, especially when the kids are there to look up to the players on the field." Lastly, the environmental effect on society. There are a number of people advantaged environmentally in New Zealand by the Super 15. For example, the franchises, local businesses, sponsors, the media, etc. They are all advantaged environmentally because the event is put live on TV, and this exposes New Zealand to all the other countries over the world who are watching. We are also well known for being a clean and green country, so we are always wanting to have the lush green fields with no litter and have fast and easy transport, so spectators have no worries. Another example of a group advantaged environmentally by this event is the local community and local businesses. They are advantaged because so much work goes into making each stadium the best it can and function well, and also have the rubbish cleaned up, as no one likes pollution. They may also get new facilities or upgrades due to the event, which can enhance the popularity of their business. This means that the community will have interest from those overseas and come to the town and city, which could help them economically. In contrast, though, the local community, government, New Zealand society, etc., are disadvantaged economically, environmentally by this event because big crowds create more mess, resulting in rubbish and pollution. There is also the need for more facilities like parking, portaloos, etc. This means that there will be people who have to stay hours after the game to clean up. Having the interest of many people can also make the transport hard to use and quite busy and unpleasant. Lee Brown said, "There were too many people going to little train stations. You looked left and right and there were bottlenecks. I'd like to go again, but after that performance, I'd rather watch it from home." We can see that transport is available, and he had a good time, but the transport was crowded, and this ruined his night. In the future, these groups would like to see more people using public transport en routes to the game and future events because this will make your carbon footprint that little bit smaller. And if everyone puts in a little bit, it could all make a difference. They would also like to see less pollution in the form of rubbish, as this is a bad image for New Zealand, who has a clean and green reputation. Regarding the pollution, this is a man-made problem that is hard to change, but is being addressed as the whole world evolves and becomes more carbon footprint aware. In contrast, the local community is disadvantaged socially by this event because if so many people are interested in coming to the games, and enjoying the atmosphere, the traffic and congestion could become bad and turn some people off. There would also be an increase in the amount of rubbish, and this will affect the attendance as many people will not like to look after the litter. Buses and taxis are a great alternative to the games, as they take you straight to the door and drop you home for cheap prices. Recently, they have also made it possible for you to get to the stadium for free when you take your rugby ticket with you on the bus, train, etc. This is a great way to get the public to and from the games, and also for them and those to try to get to the games and be part of the rugby world. Thank you.